Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, December the 13th. My name is Anne-Marie Band, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. Hey, we just had a CPI come in, and it was much lower, well, 0.1%. And so people are buying this sort of dip. Listen, I wanted to start us looking at a daily continuous contract to see what we're doing is moving in a range. Now, what we do have is an expanding formation that's giving us higher highs, okay? And so if we're looking at the higher highs and we see that our lows are a little bit lower, but not that low, we realize that price action is grinding to the north. So we don't get to see the market action pre-market here in SPY, but what's very interesting for us to note is that here in the ES, we are looking at a space of, hey, I broke last week's high, and now I'm looking at the highs from all the way back into September, and I've got this upward pressure event, right? So we know that this breakout above 40.34 brought us some good buying opportunities. Let's go now to SPY and let's see what the chart tells us today. All right, so here we are. We're all the way up at 411, 411.15. Our top was 414.10. And look at where that is based on our Fibonacci right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to gap all the way up into this area, which is up over this 411 zone. And then we're going to see some congestion. So we can see on the daily that this is where we are going to run into. My thought is this is not a breakaway running, hey, let's all go have some fun trading to the upside. But what we can see is that the markets, the pain trade for people who see the longer view, the macro view, the pain trade is higher because there's this thought that markets are getting ahead of themselves. All right, sort of the China market getting ahead of itself because of the new releases on COVID-0. All right, so here we are looking at that sort of big pounce up into the area. My thought is this: we've got 15 minutes until the market opens. What we really want to see is, one, can we come back and retest 410? If we can, it's going to be long action up into the 411 and potentially back into this 414.10 area. So there is some movement that's possible there for us in that perspective. Because we just gapped right out of the gate up here, I do expect some sort of pullback, but notice we had a massive gap over here and the pullback was very shallow and we moved up the range all day long and into several days ahead. And so it could be that we are going to break out. So do not say to yourself, hey, we're going to turn around and go back. Easily we could break out. We've got Wednesday coming, 50 basis points baked in, but now we have to see everything else that Powell has to say on Wednesday. The charts look very, open quotations, overbought. So that means we've got to be careful about just buying and going to the beach if, we live in some very southerly place, or, buying and going on holiday. Just not going to be the things for us to watch. One, coming into 410, holding the bounce. Yes, there's upside. Two, breaking the 410 and then bouncing and not being able to recapture 410. We're going to come down into these areas. But we do have some gappy charts, and so price action should be fairly mixed. Let's take a look at the Qs. Still running the show upside. Everything looks really strong from this perspective. Pre-market on the Qs, we're going at 297.20 with a high of about 300.80. Take a look right here up over this area. Let's go to the weekly and see what it's doing. 297, 300.80 is right here up in this zone. Let's put a marker on it for the prior high. 300. They don't have anything sitting around here on a weekly chart from that perspective. So let's put 301 right there. And now let's go to the daily and see if we can move that around. Here we go. this zone right here. Yeah, it stretched way high, right? So we'll put it there at that 300 area. You can see the Fibonacci holding, but again, a massive gap up over very heavy congestion. I suspect that we run hot and then we rotate over just a little bit, all right? And so that is my thought from that perspective. We're going to be looking at 300 to 302. Market really lifting on these environments. Let's go to this 2 hour, see if we see anything on the horizon. We've got congestion here, and then of course, right where we're sitting at this 297 area, right here on the edge of this zone, we've got ourselves more congestion. So stay frosty. We've got a breakout formation. It could run higher. The moment that it ends up clipping these edges and fading back, you're going to have to get out of the longs because there's a lot that the chart could give back. All right? Good luck trading today. Stay frosty. And I'll see you tomorrow.